I appreciate this. And let me tell you how much I appreciate this. Because, you know, I hit a lot of rappers on DM all the time. I'm like, damn, shit, niggas I came up in the 90s listening to, you know what I mean? Use for us, for AZ. I hit all you niggas up. You know what I mean? And when you hear me back and say, what up, 3? I was like, what up, 3? Like, just to call me that. Like, nobody, for you to say that, you know what I mean?
I know
like,
you niggas, B. What you talking about? What you talking about? Who you think you talking to, 3? This nigga's you wilding right now, bro. You know how...
Son, you gotta understand something. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I'm from Crown Heights. I grew up on you niggas. You niggas had me wearing camouflages and Timbs. It's because of you niggas I was wearing that shit. It wasn't because
I appreciate you saying that. A lot of people get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? We get left out of a lot of conversations and all of that.
Ready for this? My older cousin copped an MPV because of you niggas. Because you niggas made MPVs popular in Brooklyn. We felt shit. Buckshot. We see Buckshot and MPVs.
Right.
Passing by the truck all the time.
The boot camp click, my nigga. This was this.
Yeah.
I wore this specially just to let the people know, like just as a reminder. You know what I mean? Like to show a little homage to where I came from.
True story. I'm gonna give you another joke though. So I was in the tunnel, I want to say 1 year, and I forgot what year this was. And let's just say you were Mobb Deep in that joint though. Y'all was outside. You know what I mean? I ain't never seen no shit like that. I'm a young nigga in the tunnel and shit. I'm like, damn, these niggas and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Tunnel. A lot of people talk about tunnel. A lot of people refer to the tunnel as a scary place. And this ain't to negate none of their stories, but I loved the tunnel. Like the tunnel was heaven for me. Be like, what? Listen, I wish you could bring back an adult version of the tunnel right now.
But let's be real, son. You're about 6'4", 6'5", right? I mean
6'5". So 6'5". What? It's 6'5" bitch ass niggas out there too. You understand? So them niggas running around softer than warm butt. I mean, I'm just saying, like,
right. Word. Rock, let me ask you a question. Let's go ahead first. What made you decide to do a YouTube page? I'm loving the fact you did that though, and I love the fact Joe Budden gave you a shout out too. I was watching the Budden podcast. I was I love to see niggas like you get pub like that and shit, man. What made you decide
I mean, listen, right? It's just it came from suggestions from a lot of my friends, associates, people I work with, and all of that. You know, as the landscape of hip hop been changing, you know, it's been real hard for rappers from my era to adjust to all of this streaming and Spotify stuff, this, that, and the third. Dudes is really relying on shows and features and all of that. Like niggas have not cracked the code to this, you know what I'm saying, all digital streaming platforms yet. You know what I mean? A lot of us are just cracking it and all of that. But in the process, you know, dudes, you know, I watch a lot of YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube with, you know what I'm saying, with friends. And a lot of dudes was just like, yo, you should do this, bro. It's like it was like your perspective on things, like you talk to dudes, like the way when you giving us advice on things, like we feel like you could sell this. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, after hearing it enough, I gave it a try. You know, I started out doing a podcast with, you know, every once in a while I would be on Instagram. I would say have little random Rocco blurb videos or whatever. But I started doing a podcast with my brother Strang Wonder, and it wasn't doing well, right? Like it just like the numbers was trash. You know what I mean? We was putting in way too much time for the results we was getting. You understand? It was taken away from other shit we was doing. So we pumped the brakes on that. And a few months later, I just started. Let me just say what I need to say.
Right.
Let me just try to, you know, pick it. Let me just put my foot in it. You know what I mean? Just myself in front of the camera. You know, I get to say my points. I get to say whatever it is without nobody debating me. You know, because my brother Strang, he's the debater. He like
shout out to Ray, man. Shout out to Ray.
That's my brother, right? So sometimes, like when we get into it, you know, we go in, we pause when we debate, and I forget my point. I don't get the, you know, he got a strong personality too. So it's like I might not get my whole point across. I'm like, nah, let me just try this for a while, and I just ran, you know, a little consistency. You know what I'm saying?
Was it an easy transition for you?
I mean, yeah, because talking it's really just talking. I mean, yeah, I learned some things along the way. I'm still learning stuff, like, you know what I mean? Learning little science, you know, little secret sciences of the, you know, of the profession and all of that. But I mean, as much as I love rapping, talking is way easier than rapping. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. I would figure that though. Let me go ahead though. Music wise, when's the last time you did music? Because I remember you had some joints that I came across on YouTube. I think you had the Just Rap song that I liked a lot. You had a repeat song I liked a lot. Are you still doing music though?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, on August 9th, me and my brother Rusty Jukes.
Rusty Jukes. Okay.
You should be happy about this right here. He's a Crown
from Crown Heights and shit though.
Yes,
right?
he is, right? Me and my brother Rusty Jukes, we're putting out an album called Crownsville. You understand what I'm saying? It's the Brownsville Crown Heights combo called Crownsville. And this is actually it's like a tribute to Sean P, because Rusty Jukes was Sean P's protege. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, facts.
That was his, like, we met him through my cousin, but you know, that was back when I didn't talk to people. You understand? So they connected better. You know what I'm saying? And you know, Ruck took them under the wing or whatever. And this was an idea they had to make the album Crownsville. Ruck passed away, so I enlisted myself in, you know, in the role to make this album, to bring this album to light. And it's dropping on August 9th. It's brutal, son. It's bar brutality. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it ain't there are a couple of, like, it ain't none of them. It ain't no trying to sound like nothing else. It ain't no, like, this is Crownsville. This is Brownsville. This shit sound like Brownsville and Crown Heights. You understand what I'm saying? And yeah, the bar work is brutal.
I want to go back to the 90s right quick with you, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm under the pressure to understand a lot of stuff I saw on YouTube that when Black Moon popped off, you were not around?
It's funny because was I around? Yes. Like when Who Got the Props came out, I was around. I just didn't know Buckshot yet.
Wow.
Right? Buckshot was still homie. Right? Me and Steele are from the same projects. A lot of the members of boot camp, well, most of the members of boot camp came in through either me or Steele. Like the original 8 members, Steele brung in Tech, he brung in Top Dog, which is his biological brother, and he brung in Buckshot. I brung in Sean P, Strang, and Louisville. Right? That makes up the Great 8. Right? So, but Buckshot is not from the hood. See, Buck ain't from the hood. Tech ain't from the hood either. You understand what I'm saying? Tech is from Bed-Stuy. You know, Steele was a young international nigga already. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he already fluctuating throughout all of the hoods and all of that, right? So he brought them to the circle. Like, I met Tech way earlier, like when I was like 15, 16 or whatever. Me and Steele connected when I was 14. You know what I mean? So everything after that, you know, me and son was connected as far as rap, like, you know, he was from the other side of the project, so we wasn't really connected through the hood. We really connected because his uncle was like, his uncle heard me and was like, yo, you need to meet my nephew. And I heard him, he heard me, and we connected from that point on through the rap.
What year we talking, Rock? What year we talking, brother?
We talking like, let's say I'm 14 years old. How much?
91.
Like 87, 88.
Okay, we 14, 87, 88. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So me and but yeah, still had these. Buck didn't come around the way like that. Still had, I always make fun of it. Like, I still had these secret friends he used to go hang out with where he wouldn't take none of us with him, right? You understand what I'm saying? But when he would come back to the block, he would have 5 feet with him. Because 5 feet of Black, Five had family in our project. So 5 would come back to the hood with Steele, and you know, his family lived in Steele building. So, but I didn't put it together. I got locked up in November of 92, right? And while I was, Who Got the Props was already out. While I was locked up, I'm watching the videos.
Video music box and everything like
that. Yeah, all that. You know what I'm saying? Like like I was look, let me tell you something. I was the youngest nigga in the whole dorm, right? I was in BC, it was BCF. They used to call it the Navy Yard. It was downtown Brooklyn, right? Like I'm the youngest nigga in my whole dorm, and I got all these old niggas to give me Friday on the TV, right? These you
Because
understand?
Fridays they play all the new videos and shit.
Right. I got them to give me Friday on the TV, right? So
Mm-hmm.
after I done watched, I done seen who got the props enough times. I start looking at the people in the background now. And when I start, you focus on the rapper the first couple of times, third, fourth, fifth time I'm watching the video, I'm focusing on the people in the background, and I recognize 5. And when I saw 5 in that video, it all connected for me. I'm like, oh, I'm on, because I knew that these was still secret friends. You understand what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, and just a certain level of calm came over me. I made sure I got out of jail without no problems. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I got out, and it was pretty much right to work. Into the Stage was about to come out.
Let me ask you a question Into the Stage right quick. Let's stay with Buckshot Shorty right quick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be real with you, man. Shout out to Nas, Illmatic, Biggie, Ready to Die. But I be telling niggas all the time, Enter the Stage is right there at the table with those albums. Seriously.
Enter the Stage was so sick, brother. Like it was
top to bottom, Slave.
Yeah, it was.
Buck Down, You the Man. You got too many joints on there. Buck them down. Hey, way too many. 5 mic certified classic. I never thought Big was better than Buck, because Buckshot came first.
Right.
You feel me? So it was Buckshot for us coming to the hood and shit.
Listen, a lot of people can't, like, I can hear Buckshot's influence in a lot of MCs, right? A lot of, and like from back then. You know what I mean? And granted, and Buck will tell you himself, like, when Buck linked up with us, we influenced him. I was Still more specifically, because he linked up with Still first. Like, when he got around that vibe is when the boot camp clique was formed. You understand what I'm saying? And that energy that we brought to, that our vibe that they brought to his life, like it changed the way he sound way different on Put Up, What Up, Bo, suckers want to flow, but they got no. I'm feeling the from the weak shit that you hear, no lyrical styles come. That's a big transition. Wow. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking it back, come follow me. Like, it's a difference.
Lord,
you understand what I'm saying? So, I would through, one way or another, I see our influences all throughout the game, you know what I'm saying? And don't nobody say nothing about it, but it's fine, because I'm not done. You understand what I'm saying? And, I'll say it.
Can I say this? Yes, we have a lot of Caribbean people, KRS-One, Slick Rick, and a few other niggas, but I felt like Boot Camp, especially Smith & Wesson and Buckshot Shorty, they brought the Caribbean, the Caribbean pop.
They really did.
Hip hop though, from Smith & Wesson.
They really did.
The whole
Smith & Wesson
album.
Smith & Wesson is Buckshot and his Top Dog from OGC. They ushered, they pushed it hard. You understand what I'm saying? They pushed that line as hard as they could. I even met with my homeboy from the Bush Babies.
Bush Babies, wow.
Right. YT, one day I was kicking it with him, and we was just right. We were just talking about back then. He was like, yo, like back in the, I hope he don't, he was like, I used to be telling my group, we need to push the line harder with this. You understand what I'm saying? And then they see, they seen us, coming out pushing that line. He like, nigga, see, this is what I'm talking about. You understand what I'm saying? Respect to those brothers, though. Salute.
How much pressure do you think it was for Buckshot? Because let's be honest, before the Woo, we can make the argument y'all were the first Woo. I mean, if you want to go in that bag with a lot of members, he said EPMD had Hit Squad.
I mean, it was already a blueprint. It all started with the Juice Crew and like BDP for me. You understand what I'm saying? You seen like nothing. It wasn't nothing like when I first heard KRS-One talking about everybody who was down with us. You know what I'm saying? Talking about Just Ice is down with it. Red. I'm like, all these niggas. I'm a kid, right? I'm like, yo, they wild deep. I'm hyped. You understand what I'm saying?
The whole Bronx, no rock.
I'm like, what? These niggas, don't play with them. I'm a kid. You can't play with them. You understand what I'm saying? You see the Juice Crew, Kane Rock, Kane, G-Rap, Master Ace, Craig G, salute to them. Roxanne, Shantae, Biz.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like so the format, the blueprint was out there already.
Right.
Then EPMD brought out the hit squad. You had the native tongues and all of that. So we wasn't reinventing the wheel. You know what I'm saying? Actually, Wu-Tang did. They reinvented the
Absolutely.
wheel because they were the first ones to come out with the whole group first, as opposed to piece by piece, like all of the rest of us did.
Yeah, because you guys did piece by piece, and then in '97 is when you guys did the Boot Camp Clip album.
Right.
They came on 36 Chambers first.
Right.
So to your point and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But how much pressure do you think Buckshot had to go first though, to rep Duck Down and all that?
I don't know. Buckshot is he's a doer. You understand what I'm saying? Like when he got his mindset on something, he gonna do it. You know what I mean? And the way I heard it, like Buckshot wasn't even originally a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like Black Moon, like he wasn't even a rapper in Black Moon. It was like circumstances led him to say to Five, we gotta just rap ourselves.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And he just picked it up and just ran with it. You know what I mean? So, I can imagine that the pressure was immense, but I can also imagine, how when a team is young and they make it to the playoffs, they don't got no pressure on them. Like they don't even feel the pressure. It's just like I love this shit right here. I'm doing it. You know what I mean? Like even when it was my turn up the bat, with Buckshot Into the Stage being a classic, The Shining coming out second being a classic. Now it's up to Helter Skelter. I didn't really feel I felt excited because you know what I'm saying? I was like, it's my turn. Like, literally, you can't wait to get in this fight and put your work in. You understand what I'm saying? Like a wrestling match, you like tag me in, nigga. I'ma earth this nigga. You understand what I'm saying? Like that was the emotion. It was that young, that pressure. There was no pressure on me. I was too young for it. I didn't really feel that.
Cause I'm sitting there rock like, okay, man, damn, son. Here go Black Moon Into the Stage, right? Boom. 5 mics, bam. Here goes Smith & Wesson, boom, The Shining, 5 mics. I think y'all was on one time. What the song y'all was on one time? Y'all was on
we one time had Let's Get It On. Was a session at the Dog Hilly.
Yeah, them 3 songs y'all was on and shit like that though. So you guys gotta get up already and shit though. So when Buckshot and Smith & Wesson already dropping, you guys already cooking up basically, right? Y'all cooking up in the lab.
I mean, not so much. Like the Fab Five was, OGC and Helter Skelter. We wasn't cooking up. We was in basic training. Like, we was training each other. We was basically training OGC, right? You understand? Because boot camp clique is nepotism at its finest. You understand what I'm saying? We didn't go find the nicest niggas. You know what I'm saying? We took our own niggas we loved, our family and all that, and made them nice. You understand what I'm saying? And this is what we doing, right? So Smith & Wesson and Black Moon would be on the road and we would be at the Dog Hilly. Like session at the Dog Hilly is slang for a session at the Dog House, which was Top Dog's crib, right? So we used to be, they'd be on the road, we'd just be there smoking, writing, rapping, joking, all of that, doing the things the young niggas do when they got a clubhouse. And they would come back with all the, with all of the conversation, with all the jewels, with all of the knowledge, with all of the everything. You know what I'm saying? And when Smith & Wesson was when Smith & Wesson was recording The Shining, we were all there. None of us was working on no other project. You understand? We was all there. When Helter Skelter was recording Nocturnal, we was all there. None of us was working on no other project. OGC, The Storm, we all there.
Wow, Jesus Christ!
Know what I mean? We didn't start leaving out. We didn't start being in the studio separately. Like we didn't start breaking that format till it was like we was working on the Boot Camp album, the first one, and it was the mixing process. Like, because we was all there for the recording, right? But when it came down to the mixing and all of that, we niggas start dipping out and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That's when that started happening.
We talk about distinctive voices in hip hop, right? Like niggas that, for me anyway, when I listen to niggas rap and they just come on the mic and how they sound in my speakers, right? Or my Walkman as a shorty coming up. I feel like, I can say Chuck D, right? I can
Mm-hmm.
say Kim and shit like that, right? I can say Tupac, Prodigy from
Mm-hmm.
also P of R.I.P. Prodigy. You're in there also, sir. When did you know that you had a very distinctive voice? Like when you came on, it was like,
Well, it was in high school. It was something something I took real light, that later, years later, I realized was probably deep, right? When I was in high school, because I wrote my first rhyme when I was 11 years old, right? Just because, like, I probably been rhyming the longest in boot camp click, right?
okay,
So when by the time I was like 15 years old, I mean, I went to Lafayette High School. I could remember clearly a dude that I knew. He was on the football team telling me, yo, you got a dope voice. I don't know if we were saying dope back then, right? But he was like, whatever it was, he was like, yo, you got a dope voice, B. You should
fresh.
be a rapper, right? I was like, I do rap, right? He was like, nah, you should be a rapper for real. Seriously. I'm like, nah, you don't understand. I do rap, right? But it's like, why I feel like it's deep is because a person, all of these years ago, you know what I'm saying? Just a random person. I mean, yeah, he may have knew me, but we didn't know each other that well. But just any person just heard my voice and said, and they came up with that theory or that thought that this would be a dope path for you. And what do you know? I was already on that path.
Path already. Wow.
And I just, I just feel like there's something that's dope about that, something that's dope and deep about. I was already there, and I've been there ever since. You know what I'm saying? That's why when people ask me what would I do if it wasn't this, I'm like, nigga, I don't know. Like,
It was, listen, Rock. It was hard to get past some of your verses, man. Like when you setting off Operation Lockdown and all that. It's hard to, like when you set the verse off and we were winding that shit. You brought I always felt like Sean P was the more lyrical one, and you was the more flavor one that made any sense and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? How you stood out and shit like that. Because both you guys made a marriage on the styles and shit, the contrastive styles and stuff, right? Because I remember Sean P when he was 11, right?
I met Sean P. At his 11th birthday party.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew his little brother Stuck first, because our mothers knew each other, and me and his brother were both our mother's youngest, so we were closest to our mothers at the time. So I met Stuck B first, but one day I could remember clearly one day his mother asking me my actual age, because I was big for my age. I was always tall, right?
Right.
And she was like, when I told her my age, she was like, "Oh, you closer to Sean's age, right?" And I'm like, it didn't resonate with me until however many months later I was at his birthday party. You know what I mean? And this nigga he had a job already at 11. Nigga came in the crib. He was wild, dirty. Nigga, surprise, all of that. He had jokes already. You know what I'm saying? He looked like he was no paper route, no kid job. He was doing labor. It looked like a building fell on that nigga. He came in the crib, like, real talk.
Were you the serious one and he's the jovial one?
Absolutely.
Is that how that worked with both you guys are kind of different but kind of same? Can I say that?
I mean, we would flip flop every once in a while, right? Because like I was a grump. Like, I grew up grouchy. You know what I'm saying? I was just wild, grouchy.
You look unapproachable when I saw you in the tunnel, man. I'm gonna keep it. You look very unapproachable. I gotta keep it honest.
like I was wild, grouchy, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, but P was just wild, period. That means that he was funny. He was, sometimes he was weird. Like, he was like, what the fuck? Like, he didn't care. Like, he was one of those, he was the ODB of the BCC at times. You understand what I'm saying? And
good call.
He was just on one all the time. And he did, like, I will always say, like, he had a way quicker temper than me, right? Mine was just worse. Like, where he would slap you, I'm plotting.
We've heard stories coming from Brooklyn, my nigga. Trust me.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, it would take, like, he would, like, and it was probably better to be, you know what I'm saying? It was probably smarter to be him, because, he nipped the shit in the bud. Me, now we got court cases and shit. You understand what I'm saying? Like, nah, you understand what I'm saying?
So Rock, when did connection come with the music, though?
What'd you say?
When did the connection come with the music? Was it hanging out first, getting the vibe first?
Yeah, it was definitely that. Well, actually, it's funny because the Allah School in Brownsville,
Yes.
right? If you're familiar with it,
Yes.
It used to be a club called the Future, right?
Yes.
And the Future was scary back in the days, right? It was legendary for all kind of wild shit that happened there, right?
You
And
think?
from my like I never used to go there until
Right.
I started hanging with these dudes
Mhm.
from my second high school. I got kicked out of Lafayette High School and I went to Redirection, right?
Okay.
Redirection landed me right in the center of Ruck homeboys. Ruck
Wow.
had two homeboys that was in my homeroom class. And those was actually three of them. It was my nigga Norton, my nigga Wooba Will, and my nigga Jason, rest in peace, right? They was right in my homeroom class, and Norton was still cousin, right? Or play cousins or something. I don't know. To this day, I don't know. They still might, you understand what I'm saying, right? But so I had that connection with Norton, and that I was just good with you. They didn't have to rock, they didn't have to take to me the way they did, though. Right? You understand what I'm saying? I was the new kid in the school and all of that. And this was the school for the niggas who couldn't go to no other schools, right? And you know, for whatever reason, they rocked with me, and they led me to my other niggas, Scott and Seiko. Rest in peace to my nigga Seiko. Now, Scott and Seiko was with the shits all day. Like they didn't go to the school. They used to just be up at the school, right? But this group of niggas was Ruck niggas, and they led me to Ruck. One night, with them niggas, I was in that club because me and my Sackman Street niggas never went to that. We didn't play around with that side with that club right there. But with them niggas, we was like, okay, I'm with them. I'm like, they invite me to I go there. It's a party there one night, and they got a freestyle session, and Ruck was the only other nigga who was there who was good. I rapped. Oh yeah, my former partner used to be a female. She was there. She rapped. You understand what I'm saying? Salute Champagne, right? And it was just one other nigga who was there that got busy, and that happened to be Ruck. Funny shit was, all of these niggas who was, you know, Ruck niggas that I was rocking with, these was all DCEP niggas, right? But so, and I used to hear these stories about Ruck. Ruck was a legendary DCEP, so it was DCEP stories running around. I would hear these niggas saying Ruck name, and I'm like, who is this nigga Ruck? And they would be like, yo, you know Ruck. I know you know him. His name is Sean. He's from blah, 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 blah. I'm like, nigga, whatever. My brother named Sean. I know 1,000 Seans. And then that night, it all clicked when they found, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, oh, that was Ruck. And then me and son connected from there. But we ain't choose to be a group. We just hung out, robbed niggas, punched niggas in the face, smoked weed, drunk, like, you understand what I'm saying? And then eventually,
regular Brooklyn shit.
Yeah, right. And then eventually, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yo, can I say this story? Am I right there? Am I jumping out the window by saying before the Bloods and Crips that it was DCEP though?
Yeah, absolutely.
I can say that.
Yeah, in New York, hell yeah. Like DCEP, it was Low Lives. It was
Low
other groups too.
Yeah, Low
You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
It was some other factions running around, but yeah, DCEP was the only thing that niggas was really referring to as a gang. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was on the news getting talked about, you know what I'm saying, and all this, that about us being an epidemic, so on and so forth. And we was out of line. We was out of pocket.
Was DCEPs all over the place? Because I live on Caden and Ocean for a little bit also, right? And there were a lot of DCEP niggas running around.
Yeah, all over Brooklyn. I mean, some in Queens and some in Manhattan and the Bronx too, but mainly Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, yeah. Jesus Lord, man. Wow. So you guys are hanging out, building, getting to know each other and stuff like that. When did all right, we're gonna make who came up with Helter Skelter, the name itself?
He did.
Oh, he did. Sean P did. Okay.
He did, but I came up with another name first. It was trash though, right? But we was we was rapping with it for maybe a couple of months. But in real life, like this, all of these. All right, so that same time I was locked up when I realized that Buckshot was one of Still Secret Friends. That same 6 months, I was only gone for 6 months, really maybe 5.5, right? During that same span, me and Ruck over the phone decided that we would be a group.
Wow.
I mean, before that, we was already running around doing, you know, we did everything together. That included rap, right? But we didn't make it official because I had a partner and he had a partner too. We was already
Your female partner, Champagne, you talked about, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
And he
okay,
had a
okay.
partner too. My man Has Uno, right? So those salute to him. You know, I think Has wasn't really into it. He wasn't taking it that serious. And my partner was in another group with 4 other chicks, and she was writing for all of these chicks, right? Salute to all of them. I love them all. But she was she was a supreme writer. She's writing for all of them, right? So she was spreading herself too thin. You know what I'm saying? Like we need to work on this. She blah blah blah. So then I got locked up. So they was just, they was doing their thing. So me and Ruck one day on the phone, we just, you know what I'm saying, made that decision. Well, Ruck, he's like, yo, son, he was like, when you come home, it's gonna be me and you, son. And I was like, I got you. Like in my mind, I said that, right?
Right.
Because that's what I've been plotting for. I had been plotting. I just didn't. I ain't want to be yo, Sean. You know what? We should be a group. I ain't want. I ain't want. I was shy.
But once he said that, it was like, okay, that's what I wanted anyway, right?
I was like, I got you, nigga. You trust, nigga. I got you. You stuck with me now, nigga.
Was it always Duck Down? Was it first when your first label you guys were signed to? Was it Duck Down?
Right? Yeah. That was the first label we signed to. We Duck Down was management at first, so it wasn't. That, right? Yeah. We were signed to Duck Down management, and it was we was the first niggas with a 360 deal, really.
Wow. Really?
But it was because we didn't trust nobody but us, right? So as Duck Down was transforming from a management company to a record label, it was like, all right, we signing on this label. Who gonna manage us now? I don't trust nobody new. Listen, we gonna keep doing. And there was a parent label over Duck Down. It was priority. So it's like, all right, it's still us against them. Yeah. Right. But so to speak, it was the first, probably one of the first iterations of a 360 deal because, yeah, they was in the management. Niggas was eating off of the everything, and we were all fine with it. It is what it is.
How much fun did you guys have making Operation Lockdown, man? How much fun was that to make that album, man?
Ask E Swift. E Swift made the beat, right? He came. I didn't even remember this, but E Swift reminded me of how he came. He got to the studio late, and we made him do push-ups. We was on our boot camp shit, hard body back then. You came to the studio late, you had to do push-ups. You might have had to do some dips off the chair or something. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was dope. Like the funny thing is, I wasn't that fond of the beat when the beat sounded incomplete to me when I first heard it. It was just like the drums and like the beeper sound and like remember it was like a pager noise in there. Yo, I secretly think, not so secret, but I ain't never say it publicly. I think that beat was the precursor to ringtone rap. Because after that beat, there was the Murder Inc. version that they had. Right. My song was first, right? Then that song came, and that song was one of the first ringtones. Like ringtone shit started going crazy after that. But again, we don't niggas don't look in our direction when they handing out flyers and all that. It's fine. Just give me the kind I can smoke. Give me them kind of flowers, puppy.
So you guys dropped debut 1995, right?
Our debut album, Helter Skelter's debut album was in 96.
96.
Right? But we was on Smith and Wesson's album came out in, what was it, 95.
How do people sleep on 96? How great 96 was, though?
It was better than the NBA year in 96.
The NBA draft for AI and all, AI, Ray Allen, and Camby and all that. Facts. John Wallace. Wait, let's see. Fuji's, y'all, Outkast.
Jay-Z.
Huh?
Jay-Z.
Yeah, Hove, Nas. Yeah. Damn. I think Smooth the Hustler came out that year, too.
He might have.
Yeah. What's up with Brownsville, though, man?
Yo, we did have an idea to do a Brownsville album before P passed. I think it just put a damper on my spirit because it was me and P's idea. You understand what I'm saying? So but that's something that I think we need to revisit. You know what I mean?
Man.
Because that'd be fire. Master Ace from Brownsville too, right?
Brownsville, absolutely. You got Smooth the Hustler, Trigger the Gambler, right?
Moving Trigger, MOP, right? Most of the boot camp. You know what I'm saying?
Teflon, but
yeah.
What
Was it Brownsville? What's his name? K.A. It's a dude named Brownsville Kai. I think I don't hear his name. I've seen his name written on some dope ass bars that he was spitting. So I don't, never. Pardon me for mispronouncing his, whatever. But the nigga go in and he from Brownsville. I got some youngins that we got heat out there. Trust and believe.
Well, let me ask you a question about Brownsville Record. You and MOP, did y'all ever link up? Did Helter Skelter ever link up?
We got Helter Skelter and MOP don't have an official song. There was a song it never made scene. It was Helter Skelter, MOP. It was Cellar Dwellers and Chaotic Styling. I don't know if you remember Chaotic Styling. They was two dudes. They was from East New York. But the joint wasn't that dope. But we all jumped on it. You know what I'm saying? It didn't mesh well. Everybody got busy, but it was one of those joints that just everything didn't mesh well. It never came out. But other than that, I got a song with Fame and Billy. Billy only on the hook though. Fame went stupid on the song. Going to tell me I made him work hard. I'm like, you tried to smoke me, nigga. That's what you did, right? But yeah, I think a Brownsville album should rectify the whole Yump Off. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Talk to me about the boot camp collaboration, man. How much fun did you guys have making that?
What, the new one or the old one?
97, 197.
Well, that's that was dope, but around the same.
I ran to the store to cop that shit. For real.
I think, but if I'm being honest, right, it was mixed feelings. It's mixed feelings involved with that one. I think we started to have creative differences as a crew on that album. You understand what I'm saying? Like Buckshot was going, his sound and his taste was maturing or elevating or transforming, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people was, we resistant to change. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, we like it this. So it was a little bit of that going on there, and also that was, like weird things happened during that time period that kind of had us in the weird space.
Is it also because now niggas all alpha males? Everybody got 5 mic albums now. Everyone got 5 mic albums now. We go to the table to do a collaboration album. Everybody look at each other like, my nigga, okay, you got into the stage. All right, my nigga, you got the Shining. Nigga, we got Nocturnal over here. And we got the Scotch and all this shit going on. What we doing?
I feel like that's our problem now.
Okay, now, okay.
Right. I don't feel like that was our problem then. I feel like back then we didn't, none of us really, we didn't break rank. You understand what I'm saying? We all, we all respected whatever pecking order, whatever you want to call it. None of us ever broke rank at that point. I think now the reason we can't get it together because none of us are able to effectively lead the rest of us because of what you just said. It's like, nigga, what? Like, so it's real difficult for us to get everybody on the same page. I want to I would love to make a boot camp album right now. The chances are looking slim right now. I can say that. A year ago, I felt good about it. Right? You understand? But some time ago, a few months ago, I felt good about it. I don't right now. It's all of those alpha personalities. Unresolved differences, people in different locations. Sometimes niggas butt heads. I gotta wait for another good cycle for me to try to pull this off.
How do you feel about the overall album itself, though? The reception. How do you feel about the album itself?
The For the People album?
Yeah, For the People album, yes, sir. Yes.
I feel like it was mixed. I don't feel like it was as well received as any of our solo albums were.
Right.
Not so, but our other, our individual group albums.
Okay. And then you go into Magnum Force the next year, right? Yo, before you go into that, I went to a Smith & Wesson show, right? Yo, Tech had a Magnum Force shirt on. True story. It was you on one side, it was Scorpion on one side. It had Magnum Force on the bottom, right?
Right.
And they were throwing them shirts. They were throwing shirts. And the nigga, I snuffed the nigga. No true story. I'm gonna bow the nigga in the fucking face. Real nigga, Spanish nigga for that shit. I'm like, give me that shit, nigga. True story, my nigga.
I appreciate it.
First album though, man. I thought it was a very slept on album though.
Everyone it was
Eternal, as they should, But come on,
Yo, look, that album.
I ain't
When
having it. The first single, I ain't having it. I love that shit with Giannis the Rain.
yo, the source gave that album 3 mics. I still ain't forgive him for that. I mean, they gave Nocturnal 3.5. They look bad for that, right?
Yeah,
Magnum Force, it feels like disrespect. Like I'm like, what, you nigga, you what? I still ain't forgive him for that. Nah, bruh. But I loved Magnum Force. But Magnum Force signified a change in us. You understand what I'm saying? We was honestly, we was going through things inside the family. That was the, what is this Magnum Force shit? This ain't, is it the boot camp? What is Magnum Force? Is this another, it was things had got dicey within the squad. You understand what I'm saying? So it was a certain amount of division forming or had been formed. So I had mixed feelings about that album too, because I don't, but I loved it though. Like as far as lyrically, like I feel like me and P leveled up lyrically on that album.
Were you guys lyrically more lyrical? Part of self. Do you feel a Magnum Force compared to Nocturnal?
Yeah, I feel like we both leveled up. I feel like every album me and P leveled up lyrically.
But people revere Nocturnal so much, like that's like,
Well, I think that's because of two things. One thing is because Nocturnal is more cohesively constructed. Like it's a concept. Like the whole album feels like what Nocturnal means. Feels like what it means to be nocturnal. You know what I'm saying? So, everything, and then you had all of those additives. You like the whole squad was there. All of those. We needed an ad lib. If I needed Louisville to come in there and say yeah, he came in there and said yeah. That was the fuck it. You understand what I'm saying? Like when I said we was all present on those first albums, it wasn't necessarily like that on the second albums. You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't as much fun. You understand what I'm saying? We was in the studio strapped the fuck up now. We wasn't like that on the first albums. You understand what I'm saying? Things had changed. You know what I'm saying? So, and we got a chance to let some more of our homies shine. You know what I'm saying? Like the niggas who didn't make it into boot camp because boot camp was so exclusive and so strict, like they got to shine on Magnum Force. You understand what I'm saying? But there's another reason. What was the other reason? Oh yeah, that people love Nocturnal is because it was first. You can only be first one time. You can only catch a nigga by surprise one time.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? After that, expectations are formed.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And you could meet them, exceed them, or not. You know what I'm saying? But they already had. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, the Sauce, you niggas played y'all. What, Dave Mays, one of them niggas up there? Who was up there? 3.5 mics? What the fuck was you niggas?
I don't even remember. I don't know who did it. I don't remember. I don't know if
the streets get that shit a classic. You niggas is wilding.
Right.
I don't know what the fuck you niggas is on. I know what niggas is playing on my block.
My nigga, I was on the radio. Me and Ruck was on the radio in Atlanta when the Source came out, and the niggas handed us the magazine on the air, nigga.
Y'all went off?
Nah, we didn't go off.
Okay.
We kept it in.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? We was media trained, but my nigga, my eyes got watery, my nigga. Real talk. Like I was like, cause that's how, you understand what I'm saying? Like that's how much the Source meant everything. I was like,
wow.
And then I had to do the interview. Ludacris, was that you? Was that Chris Lover?
Was that shocking them and all?
I'm saying because I was on the radio in Atlanta, right? And I don't remember. It could have been Luda. I don't know for sure, right? But yeah, it could have. It might have not have been. But it was a nigga that looked like you a little bit that gave us that goddamn magazine.
What was up with y'all niggas never wearing sneakers?
We was boot camp clique.
Niggas never. I don't think I ever seen niggas wear.
Now around the second albums, niggas started wearing sneakers and all that. Niggas, I tell you,
I think I seen different. Still on Eastern Park on Labor Day one year. I think it was 97 or something like that. I want to say one of them years and shit. I don't know. It was before they went to transition to Cocoa Brothers and shit. But I think I see them. One of them niggas rocking sometimes one time and shit though, and all that though. But y'all, that was y'all uniform though, the camouflage.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
By the second album though, niggas was like, you know, I tell you, niggas started breaking rank after that. You know what I'm saying? Little something.
Let's fly Escoshka, man. Do you think that collaboration gets props? Like we talk about obviously the symphony, you can go into Band from TV with Nori and all that, right? Headbanger and shit like that, scenario and stuff like that. But the time when that song came out, my nigga, that's what all niggas was playing about. But I feel like when niggas talk about dopest collaborations, especially New York hip hop in the 90s, if you say it, then niggas are, oh word. Forgot about that joint doing shit. You think what I'm saying?
But that's just what niggas forget is we had issues with some of the strongest conglomerates in hip hop in the industry. You understand what I'm saying? Like I've been canceled. I've been knowing about cancel culture way before niggas been calling it cancel culture. You understand what I'm saying? Like just as a respectable businessman, right? Let's just say if me and you cool, me and let's say Caps, right? I don't know whether or not y'all get along or not, but let's say y'all don't, right? And I'm having an event, right? And it ain't just that y'all don't get along. If y'all smoke is volatile, right? If y'all got volatile smoke, I'm not inviting y'all two niggas to the same place at the same time, right? Now, if I'm doing if I'm doing a business function, right? As a businessman, and I'm thinking strictly business and nothing personal, which one of y'all am I inviting?
Right.
I'm inviting whichever one is going to do my business the best. Whoever has the best numbers, for you understand what I'm saying? So on and so forth. So even by default, if a nigga never said, don't fuck with them no more, if you smart enough to know that them niggas don't fuck with them niggas, then, and you trying to make money and not owe money because the venue got towed the fuck up or something like that, right? Then you gonna choose. You understand what I'm saying? And then you add in the fact that I believe, come on, like all of the things that we seeing about, you know what I'm saying, the mogul now, the mogul that they want to call a rapper now that he in all of this trouble, all of the things we saying now, all of the things we hearing, and this that, is it that far fetched to believe that somebody like him could have said, nah, they diss my friend, my artist, my man. They get no light here.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Is it that far fetched? Listen, I would do it. I'm from the street. Be like, if you play me, listen, he can't. You going to go to my peoples and get work?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So I don't do nothing but respect it. I accept and respect it. It is what it is. We have all canceled or blackballed somebody in our life.
Wow.
We all have. So it is what it is. So with that being said, a lot of shit gets buried. You understand what I'm saying? Nigga, a narrative is getting painted by the people with the brush. You understand? The people with the biggest voice. You understand what I'm saying? So if they paint you out of the picture, then you just out the picture.
Let me ask you, because Smith and Wesson, we know their Buckshot Shorty and all that, their relationship with Tupac and all that in the 90s on East Coast, West Coast, and everything. I don't know too much how you and Ruck felt about that. I don't think I've ever heard you guys ever say anything about that. I know they've been more, vocal about the relationship with Tupac and everything.
I mean, because me and Ruck never met Pac.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? If we did, it was someplace arbitrary when we don't remember, right? But we never met Pac. And niggas don't ask us about the Outlaws. Them is our fucking niggas. You understand what I'm saying? Like we met them like Tupac died too soon before we could meet him. You understand what I'm saying? But the very next trip out to California, from that point on, I've been tapped in with the Outlaws. I mean, they done lived in California. They done, moved out, moved back. You know what I'm saying?
Right? Some of them Jersey. Ain't them niggas from Jersey and shit?
All of them are they from Jersey and New York.
New York and shit. Word.
Like Idi Amin is originally from Coney Island.
From Brooklyn and shit. Word.
You understand what I'm saying? So, so I always rock. I consider them niggas my brothers all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? I just never got to meet Pac or Gaddafi.
Oh, Gaddafi, word. Can I ask you, what was the big situation with Big though?
It was a lyric.
Just MC shit, right?
It was just MC shit. And this is why, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you watch my blogs, when I was talking about all that Kendrick beef, all of whatever beef I blogged on, I was like, don't engage. Like when J. Cole backed out, I was like, he won. Niggas was trying to kill me for that, right? But I'm like, I'm telling you, I'm like, this because niggas like, yo, Kendrick ain't no gangster. Drake soft. You understand what I'm saying? It's not going to. I'm like, as long as they keep it hip hop, I'm like, it never stays just hip hop.
Right.
It never does, B. If once the disrespect gets past a certain level, even if I don't punch you in the face, I promise you, Bo Black gonna come see you.
Word.
You understand what I'm saying? I promise you, Sackman Street gonna be somewhere. But like nigga, me, Sean Price, my man Doc Holliday, and my brother Niggy Knott, we was sitting in the Roscoe's in California we wasn't about to, but we was talking about jumping Evander Holyfield because we don't like him because of what he did to Mike.
Brooklyn!
He cheated Mike, nigga. He cheated. We seen the head buzz. That's right. He was supposed to bite him, right? I'm sitting there like, yo, let's jump this nigga, right? It wasn't Ruck was the nigga like, pump your brakes. Who gonna set it off, right? Anyway, but it was that. I say that to say it gets stupid. Even if the rappers don't get stupid, the energy that they creates stupidity by default. No fucking stray shot stupidity. You know what I mean? And I was the first. No, we were the first example. You understand what I'm saying? This shit was just we were our own first example. You know, I'm like I can learn. If I can't learn from my own mistakes, then you understand what I'm saying? Like that shit didn't have to go there. Like whatever it was, like we felt like Biggie stole a lyric. You know what I'm saying? We dissed him in the video, right? Meanwhile, niggas knew Biggie, right? Well, niggas was at least cool with Biggie, right? Niggas could have had a conversation, but that's an uncomfortable conversation. Whatever. I don't know. Niggas chose not to do it. Niggas chose to do the other thing. And it resulted in actual violence.
She got real, huh?
You understand what I'm saying? Like, those is the facts. You understand? So it's like, come on, B. Like, when I look at all of the shit that's going on now, bro, like, niggas got all kind of shit happens that don't get talked about in these types of situations.
Right.
You understand? Nobody talk about the nigga who got locked up because he was carrying a gun because niggas was in the field now when it was hot. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody talk about that. You know what I mean? All of the residual backlash that happens. So, yeah.
Wow, man. That's Jesus Lord, boy. Wow. So battle rap. I know you always blog on battle rap, man. How do you feel about the culture?
Yo, let me tell you something. Most of my battle rap blogs don't do good. I think it's because, like numbers wise, I think it's because I'm trying to I think most of the people who click on my video, they might click on it because they're a Helter Skelter fan, right? They're a rock fan, right?
Absolutely.
And if battle rap is in the title, they might not be they not that interested in it. Meanwhile,
that means 90% of your audience is straight hip hop.
Right. Meanwhile, I'm blogging like I'm talking to them, like I'm trying to explain to them battle rap instead of just talking about the thing. So when actual battle rap fans click on it, they're like, who is this nigga talking? Why are you trying to explain this to us? We already know who the fuck this person and that person is. Just get to the point, whatever. So I'm gonna work on that. But yeah, it's obvious I rock with battle rap hard body.
Very obvious you rock with battle rap. You see what's going on right now? What's going on? The climate?
Yeah, I'm this. What are you referring to? You referring to the Hitman and Verb or?
Great transition, Rock. Great transition, sir. What do you think about Verb and Hitman, sir? Great transition.
I don't like it, B. I hate to see. I hate to see it. You understand what I'm saying? But if their relationship has only been political for all of this time, you know what I'm saying? It's just we just playing. This is all for the aesthetics. Play nice for the cameras and all that. Shit like that. It eventually crumbles, especially if niggas ain't solid. If it's any like it's a lot of rappers that I don't really know. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, I'm cool with. We ain't friends. It ain't
Right,
none of
right,
that. But
right.
if there's any if there's any malice, eventually it's gonna show. You understand what I'm saying? As long as we keep talking, doing interviews,
Right.
popping up at places, the
Mm-hmm.
energy is going to manifest itself somewhere along the line. Niggas gonna be in the club somewhere. What I'm saying? Birdman's gonna be asking why Hitman man's in them. It ain't even why his man's looking at us like that. It's because
Entourage,
we had a conversation.
entourage.
They had a conversation about you niggas. That's
Mm-hmm.
why they looking. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And shit starts to bleed to the surface, and before you know it, pow.
Yeah, man. And people are saying they Verb wants to battle again. I don't want to see them battle a rematch. I think you gotta leave the first one alone. It was a classic. Don't even touch that. Leave that alone. That's just
Yeah. Verb thinks he's the superior rapper, so he's confident in that. You know what I'm saying? He believes he's you know what I'm saying? And he is the superior lyricist, right? But that ain't all it is. It ain't just
right.
lyricism. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so whatever, but he think he got him there. So he'll jump there very quick. Let's settle it in the ring. The
You know,
hitman is like, nah, nigga.
my man told me yesterday. I'm not gonna take credit for this. He told me he thinks there's a not jealousy, but each one wish they can grab something from each other's career. My man was saying Verb looks at Hitman like, okay, I was big bro, right? I ushered in the Midwest movement and stuff, right? Then Little Bro, which he thinks a Hitman, he keeps mentioning Little Bro, right? Kind of like started getting popular, right?
Yo,
Started getting millions of views,
that
right?
happens a lot, bro. A
You
lot of times when a
know what
student
I
surpasses
mean?
the teacher, metaphorically speaking, you
Uh,
know what I mean? Teacher can't accept that. It's hard to get behind that right there, Paul.
mhm. And I don't think Verb's gonna be honest about that. And I think also Hitman on the Hitman side, I feel like he feels like okay, yes, Verb ushered in the Midwest movement, but Verb still gets mentioned in the Mount Rushmore conversation more than I do.
Right.
You know, so
Yeah.
each one
I
wish they
mean,
could
but
grab
here's the thing, right? That makes sense, right? But I think a lot of times, Nick, I think a lot of times that be just for us to talk about. I don't think a lot of times we like as an artist, I
mm-hmm.
don't think we always thinking about that. You understand what I'm saying? Something can happen and people will come up with a lot of narratives and some of them
Yes,
may make sense. They while applicable,
yes,
but in real life, a nigga be like, it wasn't even that deep. The nigga said something about my mama. That's it.
right,
You understand what I'm saying?
right, right, right. Who do you enjoy watching?
Um, all of the greats from the original cloth, like the when URL first,
Popped off.
you know what I'm saying, popped off, like all of those guys, like I mean, Math and Cortez, like Math brought me to battle rap. It was the punch. You know what I'm saying? I hate to bring it up, the dose,
Ghost. Right, 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 right.
because originally a lot of industry rappers, we felt the way about battle rap. We didn't see how you could be standing there in a nigga face, letting them spit in your face, talk about your kids and all of that, and not nothing happen. All of you niggas claim you real niggas. I mean, that's what we say. And you know what I'm saying? All of us rappers, we claim to be real niggas. How was you
Right,
letting that happen? So
mhm,
when that went viral, it was like, all right, this makes sense. Okay.
right.
It just made sense. You know what I'm saying? So we watched it, and me personally, the next battle I saw was the T-Rex battle. And I was a fan of that battle, you know what I'm saying? And
Mm.
I, just
Kept
started
it true.
watching and stuff from there. You know what I mean? But I like Averb, I like Hitman, like all of the battles that took place around that time,
Yes,
with
yes,
Math battle Rex the first time,
yes.
Cortez versus Hitman.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Averb versus Math. That
Yeah,
happened.
yeah.
Hollow versus Big
Big
T.
T.
Right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like all of those battles right
Sir,
there had me hooked.
yeah, right, right, right. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So those a lot of how that old guard, a lot of the Rex, Mook and Verb and Hollow and Surf and all of those dudes I like. The newest dudes I like are like Rum Nitty,
I love
Salute
Run. I
Team
love that
Homie.
movie, man. I love
Um
it. Oh, you and Sway? I forgot. You and Sway got you and
yeah,
Sway with family
yeah,
and
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, Swave is definitely one of my favorites
Shout
too,
out Sway,
right?
man. That's my nigga.
But like Geechee Gotti and New Jersey Twerk.
Right.
Like those are the newest ones that I'm gonna click on this battle if I
Right.
see it. As far as the girls, I love Jazz. I love the whole Bardashians, right? I love all three of them.
Okay.
I love 40.
Okay.
You know
Okay.
what I mean? I love Chrissy Yamaguchi. I love her.
Shout
Love
out
her.
Chrissy Yamaguchi. All right. All
Chrissy
right.
is a killer on the low, right? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think
You like
who,
Easy?
huh?
Easy.
Easy the Block Captain?
Yeah.
Yeah, but all of that shit, like as a real nigga, like, all right, here's the thing.
All right.
When Easy was on his winning streak, I wasn't seeing it because I don't have the URL app,
Okay.
right? So I was hearing all these things about him. I know he lost to Swave before this winning streak, right? So you know what I'm saying? I'm like, so I didn't know, right? You know what I'm saying? And he on his winning streak, he's allegedly killing niggas that I'm a fan of. And I take shit like that personal. You understand what I'm saying? I already told you about Evander Holyfield, right? You understand what I'm saying? So, I was reserving judgment. I'm like, is this nigga really that nice? You understand what I'm saying? And I saw the Hitman battle, and yes, he won that battle. He cleared Hitman in that battle, right?
Right.
But then, shit started going sideways for him and all of that. And some of the things that came out, about the character, of the man, like when I heard that, because I promise you, I got wild blogs defending Easy, right? Wild blogs on my channel defending Easy. It wasn't until he called Tasha K. When he called Tasha K and Tasha K was like, yo, blah, 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 and you start hearing the audio of him talking about shit, I was like, I can't fuck with this guy.
I don't think he called Tasha K though. I think somebody recorded the conversation. I think somebody that was allegedly cool with him.
Well, it was a rumor first that he called Tasha K or whatever. And I was like, if he did that, I'm not rocking with him.
I don't think he did that. I don't think that brother did
Can't rock with him. But then other things started coming out, the audio where he was this, that. I'm like, I can't save, I can't cape for you no more. You know what I'm saying? Like I was literally captain trying to save this nigga. You understand what I'm saying? Because as a nigga with ADHD, right? We are blessed with a gift of empathy. We understand, like where a lot of people would be kicking dirt on you, be like, man, that could have just been this.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like we think we out of the box thinkers and shit, right? You understand what I'm saying? That's one of our superpowers. So I found every reason to defend the nigga. That's a lot of the blogs where I'm talking about dudes, period, I'm defending them in most of them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Niggas is dragging them through the mud. And I'm like, well, maybe if you look at it from this perspective, such and such and such, you might see it different, right? But it just got to a point where I couldn't do that with Easy no more. But I think he can rap.
Right. Okay. All right, brother. My brother, I appreciate you taking your time to rock with me, man. This is very good for me. I love talking to niggas.
I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it.
You know what I mean? For real, rock.
So,
before you go, music, August what now?
August 9th, Crownsville, Rockness Monster, Rusty Jukes. Also, my Bandcamp is about to be uploaded. It already music on my Bandcamp, rocknessbcc.bandcamp.com, right? It's about to get I'm about to put all of my mixtapes on there. A new one is about to drop, and all of my old mixtapes are going on there too. The new mixtape is called Slang and Rock Volume 2, right? But I'm about to put Shell Shock and Rockin' Out West and all of those joints up there. So for all of the people who be like, yo, when it's all there. You understand what I'm saying? People love to ask me when I'm putting out some new shit and they ain't even and they ain't heard the old shit. You gotta type in my name, babe, bro. Gotta type in my name.
How many joints?
What on the Crownsville joint?
Yeah.
Crownsville got 11 joints on it.
11, okay.
Yeah.
Any producers we know about or?
We got Vinny Idol on there. We got
shout out Vinny Idol.
We got Freddie Fox on there. We got my boys Link Mafia and Freddie Fox got a banger on there. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. We got some. I gotta check the list again. Rusty collected all of the beats and we just went ham.
Vinny Idol did a lot of shit for the Locks back in the day though. He did a lot
of he did. Vinny Idol is a problem. Salute to Vinny.
Vinny slept on with the production. All right. How's Evil D doing?
Evil D is good.
All right,
He
man.
good. He chilling.
My
Salute
brother,
to
I
the big
appreciate
line.
you, man. You don't know how much I got love for y'all niggas, man. Y'all niggas were like the soundtrack of me walking around, doing. I started smoking blunts to y'all niggas. I started smoking weed to y'all niggas. You know what I'm saying? I first rolled up a split, a Dutch master to y'all Phillies and all that. We cracking Phillies in the back in the garage.
White Owls and Phillies and Dutch Masters. Niggas was smoking cardboard.
White House and all that.
Niggas, the White Owls was cardboard. We used to call Dutch Masters cardboard lights.
For real. My brother, peace and love. I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, brother, appreciate the opportunity, man. It was fun building with you. And God bless battle rap. You understand what I'm saying? I love this shit, B. I do. That's where you go to find rap. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like real raps. And I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying?
Bullshit, though. I appreciate you, King.
Have a good one, brother.
My brother, man. Peace and love.